All right, we are going to have some fun with some junk silver. We are going to be weighing out bags of $250 face value of all these different types of junk silver, and that's going to help us decide what is the most favorable type. So let's start with our dimes. We got $250 face value, 90% silver, Roosevelt Dimes. So I hope the weight can be picked up by the camera, but it shows 6,210 grams. And then next we are going to do Washington quarters. All right, our scale is zeroed out, and we've got Washington quarters. So again, we're doing $250 face value. The weight on this batch is 6,183 grams. And next we're going to do our halves. So we've got 3 different types of half dollars. They're all 90% silver, these halves. And the Kennedys we're going to do first. So these are all 1964s. So your 1965 through 1970 Kennedys are going to be 40% silver, but the 1964 Kennedys are 90% silver. So our weight on this batch, 6,235 grams. All right, let's do our Benjamins. Benjamin Franklin halves. So our Benjamins, 6,217 grams. Now when we're weighing mentally which is the best deal, we want to consider what are the dealers charging for the different types. Typically, dealers will charge more money for half dollars than they will charge for dimes and quarters. All right, our scale's zeroed out. We've got our Walking Liberty half dollars. So these are the oldest ones out of the halves. They're going to have the most wear and tear due to circulation. The older they are, the more circulated they will be. We're expecting the weight to be lower. We've got a lower weight, 6,109 grams. So let me write that on there, 6,109, and we'll compare our results. 6,109. So our lightest stuff was our Walking Liberty half dollars, and our heaviest was our Kennedy halves. So it makes sense if you're paying more for half dollars rather than dimes and quarters that you would get more silver. So for me, if I'm buying half dollars, I'm going to tell my dealer I want all Kennedy halves. And this way I'm going to get the most silver for my money. A lot of dealers will charge extra for the walkers as though they have some numismatic value. But the walkers you're going to get when you're buying junk silver bags are going to be all worn down. And for me, I'd rather get the most silver. Now this is a little funny. The dimes have more surface area. So you might think that the dimes are going to weigh less than the quarters. But this batch of dimes was specifically Roosevelt Dimes. If I put a batch of Mercury Dimes, I'm sure the Mercury Dimes would have been the least, even more worn down than the Walkers. It would have been the least amount of silver. But I don't have a batch of Mercury Dimes right now, and I don't have time to sort them out. So I've got this batch of Roosevelt Dimes versus the quarters. And then the quarters, the date-wise, they go back quite far. So because they had more circulation, the quarters yielded a pretty low amount of silver. You definitely get more silver for your money when you specify you want dimes, but you really got to specify to your dealer you want, and put an R there, that R is for Roosevelt. So ask for Roosevelt dimes if you're going for dimes and quarters, because you're getting a better price from your dealer for dimes and quarters versus halves. If the dealer is giving you the same price and you can choose whichever one you want, my choice is going to be Kennedy's. And if you prefer for the look or the beauty of one coin versus the other, you're a collector, then maybe all this stuff, just throw it out the window. But if you're a stacker who's worried about having the most silver weight possible for your fiat, you can use this to make an educated decision. And based on our weights, we get the most silver out of $250 face value, 90% junk, when we choose Kennedy halves. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.